If you love content creation, or maybe you don't, maybe you want content creation to be easier, this episode is for you. I am bringing on a very special friend of mine, Taylor from Sweet Potato Social, who has an incredible membership called Sound Bites that really helps you put together reels quickly using trending audio and trending concepts. It is incredible. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Henson. This is a place where we talk about all things community based marketing, self development, and leadership. It is all my love language. I could talk about business and self development all day, every day, which is why this podcast is here. Most, um, we are one of the most unique podcasts because we share so many behind the scenes and really authentic nuggets. And I'm sharing this because recently we figured out that the most common way that people are finding us that have never heard of me or never heard of the podcast is somehow in that messaging, in my behind the scenes sharing in real time. This is like a business diary. That's kind of fun to say, right? So this really is such a fun podcast. Thank you so much for being here and for pushing play today. You're going to love Taylor. So Taylor's goal is to help overwhelmed entrepreneurs turn them into confident digital storytellers. At Sweet Potato Social, they strategize, they script, they do video and shoot, and they schedule high impact video UGC social campaigns for service providers and product based businesses all over the United States. And their new program, Soundbites, is Chef's Kiss. I use it, it's incredible. And it is only $20 a month. And we have a $10 off a month coupon code for you. Use the word elevate, and we will put her link in the description and the show notes. So thanks for being here on the Messy Success Podcast. I cannot wait to bring on Taylor. Taylor joined my signature program, Elevate, in 2024 at my very first live event. You guys can go back to a ton of episodes and hear about my live events and how they work for me, how they're part of my marketing ecosystem. But Taylor didn't know me at all. So she went from not knowing who I was to joining my program in a matter of 2 days. And that's not typical. So I asked her to share about that on the podcast too, so that you guys can learn what does it take to be in the brain, or can we get a sneak peek into what it took for her, to get to that stage and be ready to purchase in such a short amount of time. I just thought it was such a good opportunity for market research there. And we're going to talk more about sound bites. We talk about all things just community, creativity. She's such a fun human being and I love her to death. So let's go ahead and bring on Taylor. Taylor, oh my gosh, I am so excited. All morning, I was like, I'm just more excited to hang out with Taylor for a whole hour than to even really care about what we cover on the podcast. So, I've told everyone a little bit about you. I think you are just one of the most fun human beings on the planet. So, no pressure, but like, feel free to bring it all today. But go ahead and tell
Ooh.
people who you are and what you do. Who is you?
Well,
What you do?
I is Taylor. Taylor is fun, with a capital F. Um, sorry, you asked me to tell me who I am and what that was I'm speechless with this intro. So yeah, I'm Taylor. A little bit about me. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I live in Denver, Colorado now, and I'm, a passionate entrepreneur, marketer, community builder, like all the things. And I'm just happy to be here
Oh
with my
my
brain
gosh.
fart of with like what else can I tell people?
I know. Well, and you're in Denver, right?
Yes,
I
Denver,
have this like
Colorado.
little hub of people that I know in Denver. Like there's probably 5 or 6 of you now. So I keep saying that I'm going to find an excuse to go out there and do something because I have a
Yeah,
whole little pocket.
I know, Liz. You've been saying this for over a year now, and I'm just gonna tell you this is a time in our lives to take action. And I've offered up my extra bedroom with your own bathroom many times, and so I'm just sitting here waiting to have cocktails with you on my front porch. And I don't know, if you get here in the winter, we'll make snow angels. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now I'm even more enticed. It's going to happen. So anyone listening, if you're in or around the Denver area, let us know because all I need is like someone to yank my arm out, which I think Taylor just did. So we're going to do it. One of the things that I'm most excited to talk about is this membership that you have created called Sound Bites, which I use and I love, and I'm always tagging it and raving about it. But this was like quite the messy journey. See what I did there? Messy success.
Love
To come
it.
up with that. And I want to hear just a little bit about like, how it came to be and what like big lessons or epiphanies, led you to come up with it.
Yeah. Well, so Soundbites is a monthly subscription where we source curated audio, anywhere from like 4 to 5 different audios for our subscribers, and we put it together within our 4 content pillars. And of course, I don't know them by heart because, but it's really just about being thoughtful and strategic about the content that you're producing. And so, in addition to the 4 content pillars, we provide use cases, examples, the link to the audios. And then in some cases where it's very tempo based, we, create little Canva locked Canva templates for you to plug and play your own footage so that you can, just have easy and accessible ways to create content for your business.
That's been my
And
favorite part is those the Canva ones that are already synced because I have no idea or talent or desire to do that myself. Like to sync the
yeah,
clips to the actual music just feels beyond me. And literally all you have to do is open the Canva document and just drag and drop any video clip your little heart desires and it
yeah,
automatically syncs to the music. It's absolutely been my favorite part. Is this how you guys were
yeah.
creating content for clients before?
So no, it wasn't. But what we
Okay.
found was so many like small business owners are, they just really don't have like a lot of budget for hiring someone, outsourcing it fully. And so we're like, how can we make this easy, right, for our client, like for clients that maybe can't afford us but want ease, right? Because being a business owner is messy. It's so messy. And most of the time we're just like trying to figure it out as we go. So no, it wasn't. But now, I mean, we do use it a lot. Like we use it for our own content, obviously, too, because we're
Yeah.
testing it. But yeah, no, we did it. It was kind of like those who can't do teach, right? But we were like,
Hmm.
well, we do, and we want to be able to teach this and just have it be easy. And so we were like, yeah, let's try it. And it was an idea for this is such a Taylor thing. Like it's an idea that I had for like a couple of years before we fully executed it. And it was actually kind of like a last ditch effort to try to keep my business afloat during a really trying time
Mm.
when clients were going, in-house or going out of business with the tariffs. And like there was just a lot of really rough change at the end of 2024, which led, 2025, a lot of struggles for us. And so I have a part-time employee who's worked for me for 2.5 years. And I was like, how can we let's just do this now or never. And,
Yeah.
my only, that's saying the only regret I have is not doing it sooner.
I know,
So
right? Isn't that one of the things we
yeah.
always say? And that's something I'd love to talk about too, is you pretty much let your assistant, your partner, like take the reins on this project, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was in the middle of trying to, keep the business afloat and maintain really great client relationships. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, Kira, she's such an incredible video editor. And she just helped elevate the business in such a big way when from when I started, like I was super successful, but then wow, to watch someone like, and really trust her and take the reins was scary, but it was also like, well, if not now, then when? And yeah, I was like, create this. Here's the framework. Like I built out all the framework. I'm the strategic thinker, and she's very much more of the executor. And
Mm.
so, yeah, I was like, this is what I want this to look like. These are going to be our pillars. Like, this is how I kind of want it to look. But I was like, go make it beautiful. And so she sent me like an example PDF of what we wanted it to be. And then, good God, getting it launched, like, what platform do we use? Like, we don't have any subscribers. So do we pay all this money? And then, so we started it one way. And even from the time we launched it, the platform we use it on, we still host it through, but we now like just send email PDFs like directly to the subscribers because there were some limitations that we didn't know until we got like 4 or 5 weeks in, and it was like, nope, sorry, you can't do this anymore. You can't send any more lessons. And I was just like, FUC, yeah, like what do I do? So we pivoted. It was like a hard pivot, but it worked. And
Oh
so
my God, it totally works. And I tell people this all the time. Like, we can't have this perfect blueprint of how someone's going to go because we don't know
yep,
until we experience it. Like, you never
yep,
knew that was going to happen until you
hmm
experienced it. And you never knew that
yep,
actually sending the emails is serving the clients better until you
hmm
experience it. Cause I love it. Cause I'm like,
yep,
I don't have to log into the portal at all. You guys just send the
yep,
emails and I get to open them, and it's so much
yep.
more efficient than having to remember to log into a portal, which my old I had a subscription to a social media thing a couple years ago, and it was great, but I had to remember to log into the portal, you
Yeah.
know? So I
Yeah.
think
And
it's
that's so
like a
fresh.
luxury.
Yeah. Oh, well, great. So glad you're, because I mean, you are a VIP. So yeah. And it's funny because like, I think for so long, I'm a hyper perfectionist. I know this about myself. I work on it in therapy all the time, but I realized this in one of my jobs when, my boss said, because I was hyper fixating on the result, right? And like, and all the things. And she said, Taylor, don't let done get in, or don't get perfect. Don't let, wow, blah, 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 blah. Let's start that over. Don't let, don't let perfect get in the way of done.
Yeah.
And because, right, I think that's so true. Like you can't until you execute it and are doing it, like you really don't know the right way or which direction you should go, or if it's serving the client in the right way. It's the same thing with life, It's like I'm constantly just like, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to show up as my like authentic self and figure it out as I go. And the right
Yeah.
things and the right people come to you. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't need to know all the steps. You just need to know what's next, right? Like,
yeah,
okay, we just need one person to try this out. Okay, great. Like, we're learning some things, and then next. So it's called Sound Bites. It's incredible. I use it. I love it. I look forward to my email every month. I'm always like clicking through there and looking at all the fun
thank
inspiration. And
you.
there has been some days where, and I even would share this, like it literally took me 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And one of the posts that I used Sound Bites for, I don't even know if I told you this, has like actually landed me sales. So yeah, I know. And
Oh
I'll
my
send that
God.
over in a testimony or whatever you have to do. And I've
Thank
mentioned
you.
this a
Yeah.
few times. Yeah, like in a couple different places. And a lot of it, the soundbite was all set up for me. And you guys even give us like tips and tricks on like what to write or ideas. And I had been wanting to kind of like just say it out loud that like this is the only place you can get a business coach for less than $400 a month, right? Like that's just not a
Yeah.
thing. Business coaches are usually thousands of dollars a month. And I was like, I just want to test this out. And that reel, even though it's not my highest engagement, it's not my highest comments, that reel landed me a handful of sales calls and sales because that
Yeah.
that one part of it really grabbed people's attention, and they just went straight to me rather than engaging on the reel itself. So
Yeah.
there's such a good lesson there on like virility doesn't matter, likes doesn't matter, comments doesn't matter. What matters is like you're telling people what they need to hear to take action. And I think I have that one
Yeah.
pinned, so you can always go find it if you want to.
Okay, I will. And also, yeah, I think so many people, like I said, don't let perfect get in the way of done. But it's the same thing. It's like you don't have to be viral. You don't have to go viral. You just have to be visible, and you just have to keep showing up. And I think so many people just get so overwhelmed, and so they just don't. They just
Yeah.
stop. And I'm guilty of that too. Good Lord. Like I'm like, it's too much. I get overwhelmed, overstimulated, and then I shut down. And so I love hearing that. Thank you. That is
Hmm.
amazing. And also a plug to you because I always say like even though I might not hear you or hear people when they're giving me feedback or advice, I'm always listening. And you always have encouraged, especially as a member of Elevate, like you just always push and challenge and made me just I don't know think outside the box and think in a messy way and not let the path get in the way of the result. And yeah, you just inspired me to just believe and know that I can do anything and just yeah
Yeah.
in the
There's
way
no
that I
idea too
needed that I
crazy.
need.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually love it when people
So
come to me or like, well, I like this and this. And I'm like, cool, let's like mesh them together and figure out how that is going to make you stand out in a certain market. That's really kind of
yeah.
become one of my favorite things where most coaches, or experts or strategists will kind of poo poo on like, no, like let's just do one thing really well. And it's like, yeah, but you can still infuse. I mean, when Summer came to me, she was just doing art and now she's combining art and movement and like her mediumship stuff all into one package and gave it a name and trademarked it. It's like, this is what we have to do. We have to do what's never been done before. So there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
idea too crazy. Like no one can come to me with an idea that I think I will smush or think is not great. It's just
Totally.
like pulling out how do we make it work? Like this is the idea. How do we make it work? All right. I
Yep.
don't even know if I've ever asked you this before, but how did you kind of get into the social media world in the first place? Like, what kind of job or what were you doing before, even if it was like a decade ago? And, what made you fall in love with it or give it a try?
Gosh. Well, I mean, I was like an OG subscriber of Instagram, with like the crazy filters and like the just like wow, you're like, wow, that looks like a Polaroid, like, but it's digital. So I've just always been on social media. My friends, like, this is kind of like they used to call me the selfie queen because I just like loved taking a selfie and putting like crazy filters over it. But so social media has just always been a part of my life, like I grew up AOL dial up. I definitely met up with a boy from a chat room when I was like 14.
Oh
Thank
my
God that
gosh.
ended okay. His name, all I know is his last name is Rose, but I just, I grew up in that era of the
Yeah, I
online space. And
remember.
so
I
when social,
remember.
it was a crazy time. Like I learned low key learned how to code with my MySpace profile, kind of a thing. Um, so anywho, back in 2020, I'd been working in the marketing space. Like I was actually in HR prior, like corporate recruiter, and then was like, I want to do something more. Like I know I have more to give and more people facing because as a recruiter, you're just on the phone having the same conversation over and over. And I was really great at it, but it didn't fill my cup. And so I went into marketing, but then fast forward, I wasn't primarily social. The pandemic, I got laid off and I didn't have, no job, just bought a house, all the scary things. And so I started a business called Sweet Potato Social, like trademarked an LLC, like did all the things because it was the only way I knew how to make money. And I started reaching out to friends, and it was before Reels had come out, like, or they
Yeah.
were out, but not really. And so I was just doing the pretty photos and a cute caption and, just no
I kind of miss
strategy, no
those
thought.
days sometimes. I mean, video is
Oh,
fun, but I really
yeah.
miss like when we're the same age. So I've been
Yeah.
through all the milestones, the AOL,
Yep.
talking to boys on
Yep.
AOL, the
Yep.
MySpace, your top seven
Yep.
or whatever it was, top six,
Yeah.
what
Top
was it?
eight. Top eight.
Top eight. Okay, okay.
Top eight.
Yeah, it was such a big thing. And oh my God, I just remember those days so clearly. And I forgot where I was going with that. Literally, I got into the MySpace rabbit hole and forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Oh,
okay. I mean,
yeah.
oh, go. Do you remember? Go. You
No,
go.
you go because it'll make me
Perimenopause.
remember.
Okay. Well, I mean, just MySpace, like, yeah, coding, you like learned how to like put a background song and like, sparkly profile. But anyway, fast forward, pandemic, like started my company and I was just like, you know what? Reels were, flat lay days, we were talking about that.
Flat lay days. Oh, the flat lays.
Yeah, and you're, a photographer, like pretty photo, and I don't know. That was just a time. But anyway, I reached out to friends and I just said, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to start a business." And then I did, and I just did it as a side hustle for a really long time. And when video really, really started taking off, I just kind of leaned into that space, and so I started offering expanded packages where we would also do content creation, video, which we still now offer, like primarily video. We don't do social media management, but yeah, the business just started out of necessity. Then I went all in on it when my best friend was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and I went all in on it so that I had the flexibility to go back to the Seattle area and be with her and help her with take care of the kiddos while her husband single income. And yeah, no regrets because I got to be with her until like literally her last day on this earth. And yeah, that was really she was my why. She still is my why every day.
Oh, I
So
love that. I met someone on my trip in Maine, who was actually just on the podcast, Marisa, and she has such a beautiful story of, same thing, like her best friend passing away and how much that has just been infused into her business, into giving back and to supporting. Um, so you never want those things to happen, but it's always so powerful to see people turn it into motivation and inspiration and, your
yeah,
why. Yeah.
yeah.
I have like the randomest question ever, and I'm just
Okay, let's
curious
go.
if you have any tips. We're going back to work now. I'm like,
Mm.
before we both start crying.
Oh, I was like, are we gonna talk about something
Totally.
silly or we're
No, we're going back, but this is kind of work-ish. All right. So you have like the iPhone queen, you know how to do all the video and like fancy things on the phone. Okay. So I like
Hmm.
started on a
Yep.
DSLR. So I'm always like kind of lost on the phone. But something that I have been motivated to do recently is to organize my photos. I think I have 1,500 photos on my phone.
Okay.
And I've started, having like a folder that's like, B-roll or
Yep.
selfies or whatever. Is there an easy way to do that?
God. Um, am I allowed
I
to talk about gardening?
card.
I it's like a TikTok like hidden. Just kidding.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's one of the
Never mind.
TikTok
Don't
code
just cut.
words.
Yeah, it's a code
Okay.
word. So
Okay.
cut that out of your podcast. I don't know how much you do in post. No, there's not really an easy
Okay.
way that I've discovered.
Okay.
Honestly, like I mean, I think you could think about it like when I've done it because I have same thing. I have like a bestie from Allie, my late best friend. I have a photo album of her and I have like friends, I have B-roll, I have business B-roll, landscape in case I'm like looking for something specific. Like I hyper fixated on my organizational folders. If you saw it, you'd
Okay.
be like, oh wow, psycho. There's not really an easy way to do it. Unfortunately, you just have to kind of, I would say, decide what you want your for, like when you're kind of scrolling, like look at what your categories might be and maybe jot them down, then create those folders and then just kind of
Mm,
go from top to bottom and just like plug them in. And then if you don't know where they would go, like leave them loose. That was how I
yeah.
did it. And but now if you saw my phone, I haven't done it, like kept it up. So the maintenance now I have
That's the
like,
hard
I don't
part
know,
is the
probably like
maintenance. So for a while,
yeah.
I had a really good tip, and this worked for a while, where every day you just search the day. So today is September 11th. So you go to the top
Mhm.
search bar of your phone and you search September 11th, and then you just organize those photos because it makes it a little bit
Oh,
more, it's almost like doing a time hop in your own phone of like all the photos from that
yeah.
day. And if you can
Oh,
do
that's
that
fun.
every day within a year, everything will be organized. And so I
That's
did it,
fair.
and I think I lasted until like April.
Okay. Okay. And
But
we're
I
in
guess,
September now, so
yeah, I guess you could do bigger chunks and do like a month at a time. But I was hoping there'd be like some special ninja
like a
app. Like I've
hack.
seen some of the apps that help you like with duplicate photos, but
Yeah. Well,
it's,
the
yeah,
iPhone does do the duplicate photos, which I found super helpful, especially when my friends like they're like, "Oh, did I send you that photo?" And then they send it again, and I'm like, "I don't know." So I save it, and then I have like 15 of the exact same photo. So I
yeah.
do love that feature, but I have no hacks, unfortunately, because I actually at one point was trying to offload photos, and I created Google Drive albums within, and I would categorize. So if I'm doing like UGC for a, like a business, I take all the photos from and videos from that visit and I plug it into like a Google Drive so that way when I go to export and like edit all that footage, but that's like, and then I take it off I take it off my phone
Yeah.
entirely.
Okay.
But then you know what happens is then you're like, oh, on the fly, you're like, I want to edit a video, and you're like, shoot, I have to go into Google Drive
That's the thing.
and
It's
I
like
have like,
there's no,
ugh.
yeah, I know. I know. It'll be interesting to see what happens there in like the next 10 years.
Yeah. But I mean, AJ is a rocket scientist, and so I think my fiance, so I feel like he's always asking me what app or is there something I want him to develop, and so maybe it'll be I'll tell him,
Ooh.
hey, we need a photo a phone photo
Phone.
album organizer that categorizes your photos based on certain like characteristics because AI is wild, so we might as well
Yeah, it
like
should be
let's
able to
go.
do it. Like, I mean, at least like simple, like where are all the quotes? Like,
Yeah,
AI should be able to recognize what in my actual photo album is a quote. And can you at
yep,
least grab all those and move them into a folder? And then it's like, okay, which
100%.
ones, feel like they're a bunch of people, like has more than one person, put those all
Yeah.
in somewhere. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm gonna
that's just something to,
hyperfixate on it and look and Google it like crazy later and get ready for your phone to blow up with like 15 different apps that I've found that do something in that realm for you.
okay, so everyone listening, if we find any gold with this, we will share it in the show notes. We'll be like, by the way, we did find a solution because I know I'm not the only one. That's why I wanted to ask because it's
No.
been on my mind, and every time I'm like in airplane mode, like flying, I keep saying like, oh, this is the time I'm going to focus on organizing my photos, and then I'm like, nah, I'd rather watch a show or read a book
Yeah, totally.
because it feels
Could
so
you do both?
daunting.
Yeah,
No,
I know. I whenever something feels daunting and overwhelming to me like that and tedious, that's when I'm like, I can't. No,
you just put it off.
yeah, I'm just gonna go watch this Netflix like teen angst show on Netflix or something and call it a day.
Yeah. Okay. All right, another
Sorry.
fun question. What would you say, like in all your years of business and working for yourself and having this kind of freedom, what do you think is like one of the most impactful things that you have learned or like a breakthrough moment that you think might help someone that's just getting started?
So it's so generic, but like just don't let yourself get in your own way.
Hmm.
Like so often we let our doubt, our limitation, like whatever we just allow, I don't know, all of that to like stop us, right? It's like you don't know the exact thing or the right way or all the rules. And I don't know. I just think I so often I mean that when I started my company, it just did it. Right. And there was just like, no, this is just what I'm doing. And it just kind of all came to me. But then when I really started to like overthink things and limit myself and what I thought was possible or belief. And I don't know, I what's the word I'm looking for? I fell flat. And I think that
Mm,
that's like the biggest piece of advice that I heard a lot. But until I really started to like stop, pull back and say, okay, let's just like step one, like let's just go and figure that out and don't let the unknown stop you. I think that's the biggest piece of advice. And then also I think surround yourself with the right people.
mm,
Join, whether it's like seeking out a business coach or joining a group, some sort of a cohort. I think community, like so often as an entrepreneur, even if you have a team, right, it's very isolating when it's yours. And I think surrounding yourself with people who want the same thing, who believe in like that they also have something to give and offer and being able to like lift each other up, that to me it was like has been the biggest the biggest win and the thing that I wish that I'd kind of done sooner, that is to like find a group and really just go all in with them and lift them up.
I know. It's like we say that all the time, right? Like it's a little bit of a buzz topic of like just surround yourself with like-minded people. But the truth is, like that's another phrase that I'm like getting worn out. The truth is, here's the truth. When I was teaching and I started my business, I realized very quickly that my teacher friends were not necessarily going to be the people that would like be my biggest cheerleaders in my business. Did I have a couple of friends that were?
Hmm.
Of course. But like as soon as I left teaching, even they fell by the wayside. And if you think about professions and corporate, the people you surround yourself with, you're all making the same amount of money. So me and my teachers friends, we all had the exact same salary, the exact same lifestyle, blah blah blah, right? But when you get into entrepreneurship, it's like you can surround people that are really holding space for you to dream bigger. There's no ceiling on what we can achieve. And that was the biggest difference that I saw was like, oh my gosh, there's women that are already making six figures. There's women that are making $1 million. And if I can put myself in rooms with them, and make that my five people, studies show that like I'm more likely to have the same results. So it's like there's
Hmm.
actual science behind this and logic. It's not just about like warm and fuzzies, like it's a real thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, like they always say like, dress for the job you want or all of those types of things. And I just think, yeah, put yourself in the room. If you see the other thing that I've actually did start doing this when I was really, really young, when I was just like this little super crooked teeth,
A mini
pimply like
Taylor.
braces. I was little tiny Tay, but I really anytime when I love celebrating people too. I think that that's when you see someone who is like living, even just maybe it's outwardly. We never know what people are going through. I know, but like when you see someone living a life like whether it's full of joy or whatever that you also want, chase that. Put like compliment them, celebrate them, ask, like be a part of their life if you can. Like I always used to, if I see someone I don't know, in the middle of the road, in the middle of the road, in the middle of like a walk and I'm on the road, I'm always like, oh, like good morning or hi, like, oh, I love your, we're passing. I'm like, I like your shirt. Because I just think like you can make someone's day and really, I don't know, turn things around. And so I feel like it's the same with, I don't know, when you're chasing success or business, it's like, I don't know, like exude that, celebrate other people. And yeah, because the people that you see are that you want, you see something in them that you want, I don't know, just befriend them, like ask them how they
Yeah.
got there, be curious, ask questions. Like I love all that.
Yeah, and the more we celebrate, whether it's other people or ourselves, it manifests more things to celebrate, right? Like the
Agreed.
universe
Yeah.
acknowledges when we are happy for somebody else and,
Yeah.
and comfortable in our own skin. Okay, I have a really
Agreed.
really fun question that I'm going to ask. And this is not coming from a me wanting to be braggadocious place, but I talk a lot about kind of my marketing strategy and hosting these monthly in-person events and then my annual event. And
Mm.
for anyone listening that might be hosting an annual event and uses that as a vehicle to sell their program. Okay, that's kind of the context as to like why I think this question is going to be helpful, because I already know you and you're like the kindest, nicest person ever and you're going to have such amazing things to say. And of course, I want to hear that too. But you didn't know me at all when you walked in the room of Elevate and Inspire 2024. Like, didn't even know me whatsoever. Didn't know what I was about. Didn't know anything about me. And by the end of day 2, you were one of the few who, from your chair, bought into my program. So, you know, not just from the place of like Liz is trying to gather a testimonial. I want to hear in a way that's going to help people with their marketing at their event. What did I do right, or what landed for you for that decision to be so easy?
Mm. Oh, that's such a great question. Yeah, came in
And it
as a
was a long time
guest
ago. So
of
it's like, if you need to go back in the archives, I understand.
no, yeah. No, I mean, I remember like first when I walked in and I was just like, I had no idea. Yeah, it was kind of like a little bird. Like I was so little bird that like flew into a window. I was like, like who are all these people? What's happening? And we started doing these breakout sessions. And I think this is like the funniest part of how it started versus how it ended because we were in Liz was teaching or like we had someone talking about like SMS and like text
Oh,
message
yeah, yeah,
marketing
yeah.
and like how to like selling through that and I was just like ugh, like this is so gross and I had very strong feelings like pretty anti I would say because I'm the unsubscriber like I'm like don't text me, don't email me. When I want something I'll find you. And I remember like you and I just had very different opinions and I remember I spoke up and then you spoke back very kindly but like with different you've had a different feeling and you were pro and I was against. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, great, Liz does not like me. Like, ugh, I really, screwed the pooch on that one. But then, but yeah, but through these, I don't know, these moments, I kept seeing these women, and there was, I think, a couple of men there too that were just like very like practical and very attentive and really craving something. So that energy felt really compelling to me. Because I was like, ooh, okay, Liz has attracted like these women and these people who like I want to feel that. Like I want to feel that energized. And so anyway, fast forward, I realized through your messaging, how you spoke, it was never salesy. Like you
Mm,
never were like until the end, and you were like, this is what I'm offering and here it is. And for someone like me, I just felt like I was able to see elements of the type of people you attracted first. And I was like, I want to work with people like this. Then the other piece of it was I just remember sitting in the chair, I was texting my friend next to me, and I said, gosh, I said, I feel like Liz is speaking to all the things that I want because there's this level of warm and fuzzies. I call it woo woo. And then there's this other level of like you take that and then you pull out the pieces and you get rid of the fluff and then you made it practical. You showed me how you were going to help me get there.
mm,
And I think so often a lot of people, especially on sales pages or just when you're selling, you sell the dream, you sell the idea, and then I don't know, you buy the PDF or you get into the group, and then it's all just a bunch of BS and fluff, and you don't actually give me tangible things to do to execute to get to where I want. And I
mm,
just knew by how you spoke about it. And then again, the people who were already a part of your circle, they were living and executing the things that I wanted. And I was like, okay, I've done the warm and fuzzy work and I want to hold on to those things because they matter to me. And then I'm going to go F shit, FS. I'm going to go mess things up in a good way and with Liz and I'm going to join her group. And I don't know. I sat in my chair and I just was like all in. Here's my credit card information. Do you want my mother's maiden name too? Like, I'll give you whatever you want. Yeah. And then, I mean, I know you're not asking me to say this, but I joined the group and I don't know, from day one, I was like, oh, Liz is my girl. Like, I'm obsessed with her. I want to be friends with her. And I want to like learn. And I mean, I did. I grew more as a person than I have in any other group. And my business was able to grow in such a huge way. Um, because of like the tangible things that you taught me. And because you have this really, also celebrating you again, you have this really cool way of really like calling someone out on their BS without it ever being like hurtful or aggressive or like unkind. You're really good at that. I can imagine you're a wonderful wife and mother too, like to your
Aw.
family. But
Thanks
yeah.
for saying that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to work on that really hard. Like I'm a people pleaser by nature, so the whole thought of like interrupting someone or saying something confronting, like holding up the mirror, like I had to work hard on that. But there was a point where I realized, like, this person is paying me money to help them get to a destination, and
Mhm.
if I don't do what I need to do to help them to get to that destination, then it's not their best investment. Right. And I had to put that
Yeah.
at the forefront over them just liking me. And what's so
Hmm.
crazy is that when you can do it with love, right? Because there's gentle ways to do these things. I just had to trust that, like, people end up liking you more because there's
Yeah.
this like honesty. And I remember going to my business coach one time, and this was on a big coaching call in a different group. And I was like, and I was facilitating, I was coaching, and I was like, James, I'm so tired after that call, and I'm usually energized. And he said, that means there was something you wanted to say that you weren't saying.
Oh.
And yeah. And so I really started
Oh.
paying attention. I know, it's insane. And I was like, "Oh my god, you're right." Like I really just wanted to yell through the screen at this student, like, "Get out of your stuff. All I'm hearing right now is you are in your own way." And I just wanted to like say it that clearly. And he was like, "You can say it." He's like, "You know, say it with love and get their consent." He's really big on like consent marketing, consent coaching, and
Mm.
he's like, "Say it." And I just have always like used that as like a sign to like listen to my body when I'm coaching and know when to like step out and when to pull in. So I love that you said that. But it's just, that is not typical what happened, where you came to an event not knowing me and then were ready
Yeah.
to invest and work with me. And another thing that I think is just such a testament to who you are and your core values is when we were on the call after, I remember kind of saying like, you're already an established business. You came with a friend. So like my intention was never to sell you on my program. I'm also kind of like a stickler about that. And, I said, "Are you sure you don't want to just work with my coach, James?" And you were like, "I don't want to put any more money in the hands of white men." And I received it. Like, rather than push back, I was like, I so respect and receive that. And I know that James does too. And that's why it was such an easy thing for me to accept, is I'm like, this is what he would want. Like, he would want the ripple effect, of his work going through females, people of color, because
Hmm.
he's all about the greater
Yeah.
good. It was an emotional experience for
Yeah.
me. So thank you for that.
Oh, I'm so glad. I mean, it's emotional for me. Like, I mean, it's definitely, I make a lot of emotionally charged decisions, not all, like, not always just business related, but personal too. And yeah, I mean, especially then, like then, and even still now, like it matters to me. I want to use my privilege to make better decisions to support, those, like to support the other ones. They need
Yeah.
it. And yeah, I want to do the best that I can. I'm never going to be perfect, and I'm always going to be learning and figuring it out, but I want to take action on that and make choices every day to support people and businesses and all the things. And James is great. Like I've never met him, but I've follow him, and he's so great. You've had such great success, and it was, yeah, never, nothing against him specifically, but yeah, I just felt really called to make that choice. So,
Yeah, and it was a
now,
moment for me too where I wasn't trusting myself, right? Like I wasn't.
mhm,
It was a moment that was like old people pleaser version of me, so you really helped me unlock a moment there too of like, no, I'm worthy. This is my job. This is, there are some things that are just going to be for me and I need to fucking receive it.
yeah.
you know?
Well, good job, Liz. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thanks for
Good
thanks
job
for
receiving.
Oh my gosh. I know. We're all working on the things. And when you said you're always learning, like that is what I'm always listening for in leadership qualities because, people like to bring their ego. Just I've been saying like right on in a suitcase, they're just bringing their ego everywhere they go. And like the
True.
real leaders are the ones that are always students, right?
Yeah.
Always. And it's so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I just am not perfect. And I've learned that, again, people pleaser too. And I think hyper perfectionism, kind of chasing this ideal of like what other people and perfectionism to me is just like presenting something to other people that you think that they want, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily for you, I think deep down at the core of it. And I was like, that's something I really want to work on. Like it definitely in my like Taylor deserves to like feel safe and supported and like loved in her own body within her own spirit and soul. And like yeah, I like want to let go of that and how I show up and who I'm around and like I want to just feel good and positive so that I can then exude that for others. You got to put that face mask, oxygen mask on yourself before
Yes.
you can do it for anyone else. And
That's so
that's what I'm
true.
doing.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. Okay, is there anything else that you just feel like called to share or that you want people to know about you or anything? Your favorite color,
Um,
animal?
oh, well, my favorite color is mustard yellow because my
Oh, me
Allie,
too.
yeah. Well, my late best friend, she used to tell me all the time. We met just after high school, and she was in high school. Apparently, she was in the play, oh my gosh, Alice in Wonderland, and she was the Mad Hatter. And whenever she would tell me, I was like, "What was your favorite part?" And she goes like, "Oh, my favorite line was we were doing the tea party scene, and I would go mustard." And so I don't know. From there, I was like, that's just my favorite color is mustard yellow. It has to be from now on. So I always think
Oh.
of her. Um, but no, I mean, I just think in general, like let go, let go of expectations that you think other people have put on you or the ones that they actually literally have put on you, whether it's society, your family, and quite frankly, yourself.
Mm.
I am fun and silly and ridiculous. I think poops and farts are hilarious when a ketchup bottle squeezes and makes the little sound, like
Yeah.
forever funny. I'm very inappropriate, but like consensually. And I just, I think for the longest time, I thought I was behind. Actually, I thought about this in the shower and I got really weepy because knew I was going to see you. And I was thinking about how, I'm going to be 43 in 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, the 11th in 3 days. And in all of my life, I'm not where I thought I was supposed to be. And I've been over the last almost 10 years, I've been really letting go of that because you're not behind, like you're just a late bloomer and you're just like a work in progress always. And I've really had to let go of what I think other people want me to be because good Lord, like I am so wonderful and perfect just as I am. And it took me a really long time to love that. And I hope that one person can listen today and just let go of like what you think you're supposed to be and just be what you are because what you
Mm.
are is so beautiful and there's no one else like you.
Oh my God, I love that. And I love there's like some memes or quotes that go around about different women and when they started their journeys. And there's so many
Hmm.
powerful women that didn't start till their 40s or their 50s or even their
Yep.
60s. And they are some of the
Yep.
most successful and powerful women that we know. I can't name
Yeah.
them off the top of my head, but I just know every time I see that post, I get the feels because I'm also
Yeah.
43. So I relate to that. And I don't know about you since
Hmm.
you don't have kids. I would be curious, but I love my 30s. I mean, my 40s so much more than my 30s. I don't know if you feel that way.
Yeah. No, I definitely do. I think, yeah, there is that like truly you like wake up and you're just like, I don't give any F's. I just don't. Like, this is just, I just live and exist. I would say that I always wish I could go back in high school with like what I know now. But
Yes,
like,
I say that. Are we
and
the
like,
same brain?
yeah, never been kissed. Like, I was like, let's go, Drew Barrymore. Like, I want that. Minus the little like teacher thing. That was like a little, but now in today's world, it's a little weird. But like, she was a high school student. And he was like a lovely, what a third. But no, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. Like, I want to just live how I live now. I will say that my body like is starting to turn into a bowl of Rice Krispie treats. A little snap, crackle, pop. You're like,
Yeah,
ugh.
it's a little
You
different.
sneeze and
It's a
you
little
throw your
different.
back out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love my 40s. My 30s were incredible because that was the evolution of me. I think that's when I
Mm,
really just like learned to let go. And now I'm like, I get to just exist in this mentality and just get even cooler. You know, I want to be the weird old lady, the weird old auntie, because we're not going to have kids. I want to be the weird little old auntie that, you know, I've got all the trinkets and stuff, and I'm like doing tarot card readings with my niece and nephew.
oh my God, I love it. Oh,
So,
Anthony loves doing my oracle cards with me. It's just like the most fun things. We do like the little animal ones where he gets to pick an animal.
those are
Yeah,
cool. I kind of want to
yeah.
get, yeah, I need to get some. I actually have like a legit tarot deck, but I want to get like more of the oracle cards and pull one. And I need more woo woo in my life. I'm a
Oh
basic
yeah.
witch, but I am, you know, but I want all the woo.
I
Bring it.
love it. I like my crystals, all the things. Just
Mm.
nature keeps me grounded. Okay, let people know where they can find you because I love following you on the socials. You're one of the people that I do
Oh,
all I can to keep you in my algorithm.
oh, thank you. Yeah, well, you can follow us on like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, my business at Sweet Potato Social. Sweet potato like the food, and social like media. And then yeah, I just my personal like Instagram is just where I just like have fun and play, and it's like my live journal at Tater Talk, because I'm like a tater tot, but with a Tay, and talks because I can't stop once I do.
Oh my gosh, I
Got a
love
lot
it.
to
We'll put
say.
it all in the show notes so that it's easy to find. But I just love you and I love that we had to have this talk. And now I'm like, okay, we need to schedule Zoom chats. I'm going to go to Denver. We're going to make it happen
Great.
because you're just one of my favorite
I'm
peeps.
waiting, you know, 20 that we only have a few months left of 2025. And so if not this year, better be the first part of next.
Okay, we'll make it happen.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, love you, friend.
Love you.